Hi, I'm Tom Arbuthnot and this is Tom Talks, and we're just going to spend a minute talking about typical network challenges we see in Skype for Business deployments. So as we know, Skype for Business takes a big dependency on the network, and when we talk about network, we're not just talking about switching and routing, but we're talking about a whole lot of different appliances that can cause impact. So first thing, top of our list, most impactful, particularly in cloud projects, is firewalls. If you're doing Cloud PBX or Skype Business Online, odds are you're routing from your network to Microsoft over the internet. You might have a dedicated express route, but generally it's over internet. That means the traffic is probably going through your firewalls, maybe even two sets of firewalls, internal and external. We often see issues around port ranges being blocked. We see TCP being preferred over UDP. We see issues like port exhaustion, where there are not enough ports to do all the NATs that we need for all the concurrent calling. And we commonly see raw throughput issues. So if you've got 500 users and you're expecting 20% of them to be on the phone or a conference at any one time, 100 calls, your throughput on your firewall might be spec'd for a gig, but is that a gig at load with other traffic going through, with all the rule sets applied, with lots and lots of small UDP packets flowing through, which is voice traffic? Very often we see issues where when we're getting up to the high concurrency of calls, the throughput can be an issue. Proxies, number two, an absolute pain in the Skype world, being honest. There for a very good security requirement, but often not spec'd to deal with, again, the throughput of lots of voice traffic or video traffic. So ideally, Microsoft recommendations wherever possible is to bypass proxies completely. Often that's a conversation with the security team. Along with proxies, traffic inspection. So the two often go hand in hand. But if a proxy or a security device is trying to do any kind of deep packet inspection, usually that's a challenge for Skype Business. It's going to try and stop the packets, decrypt them, inspect them, and send them on their way. That introduces latency, naturally, because you're stopping the packets and checking them. At the concurrency, again, lots and lots of work for that appliance to do. Very often it will introduce latency and jitter. Virtual private networks, or VPNs, we don't really want to impact the route media takes, voice traffic takes. So if I'm working from home and I'm a Cloud PBX user, the ideal is that media goes direct from my house to the Microsoft Cloud. If you're forcing your users to use virtual private networks and route their traffic into the corporate network and then route out of the corporate internet connection, that's going to be a suboptimal route. You're double encrypting the traffic because it's already encrypted by default, so you're encrypting it again on the VPN appliance. And often those VPN appliances are not, again, scaled to deal with real-time traffic. So when they were built for logging onto internal corporate resources. They were never scaled or designed to deal with voice and video throughputs. When we talk about VPNs, we're also talking about potentially site-to-site VPNs. So if you have offices that run primarily on internet connectivity and have connectivity between the offices, that might be VPN. Again, might be fine for data transfer, but have a look at how those VPNs deal with real-time traffic when people are doing peer-to-peer calls between those sites. Last but not least, wireless. Wireless, again, it's not necessarily inherently bad. You can scope and build a wireless network that is real-time media ready, that can deal with voice and video. Most modern office projects we're doing now, wireless it's scaled and architected to deal with voice and video, and it can work great. But if your wireless was not put in with that in mind, it was probably scoped for data traffic. So can it deal with both the throughput and the consistency of experience required for voice and video? So if you've got any user areas where you're deploying to Skype Business and you've got wireless, take a careful look and make sure that's ready for the Skype Business project. Hope that's been useful for you. Those are typical things to look out for. And by all means, come and talk to Modality about how we do network assessments, or what we call impact assessments, to mitigate the risk of these areas on the network.